folks, rinimt here, and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. In the last part, we got through Final Fantasy XI, I mean Alzadaal's Legacy. I may have gone on the entire dungeon about salvage, and I have no shame about that. You know, FF11, great memories, also not so great memories, actually some really bad memories. But anyways, that was the last part. We're not doing it again. Sure, I will. I mean, we'll probably go to another spiel at FF11 sometime. Shall we begin? If we are to spend the treasure wisely, then we must first determine which groups would benefit most from monetary assistance. Some citizens may find it intimidating to speak with the Saw Trap directly, so I ask that you act to my side. Yeah, I mean, the Savior of the Star is so much easier to talk to than the Saw Trap, right? Arya, you're the Viza Akiali and Yedlamad. Speak with Matsya and his people and listen to their grievances. Estinian, I bid you do the same at Palakistan. I will be conducting my own inquiries at the Giant Skull grounds. Once you believe you have ascertained the needs of the populace, we can reconvene at Megaduda. Oh, Arya, I was so glad to see you returned unharmed. You finished with the boat then? Anything the village desperately needs? Well, I suppose Kozol's loss hit us the hardest. I'm trying to find buyers for my fish, but although I sell a few here and there, it's so much more difficult than it was before. Everyone's still struggling to rebuild their lives. For now, we're just banding together as best we can. We're starting to do it this way around. Wouldn't I? Here, go to Ayazama to get here, and go back, and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, the junk bunker. Greetings and welcome, traveler. If this is your first visit to Thapner, then you must try my special Amra Lassi. Its refreshing zest cannot be beat. What could such a wonder cost, you wonder? Normally I part with 3 bottles for the generous price of 19,800 gil, but for you, I'm willing to go as low as even 10,000. You'd be practically stealing from me. Stealing? I am not Estinian. Estinian, who is you're the one who was with that spirit-toting fellow. Well, you can hardly blame a man for trying. The world may no longer be on fire, but we're still sifting through the ashes, so to speak. Sister, spare me. We might as well have that ugly tower back for the scant few travelers we see these days. I myself barely have the coin to buy at local prices. I tell you, if I didn't charge the odd adventurer a small fortune for afternoon tea, I'd be scavenging for scraps in the street. How fares the port? Well, it's in shambles, isn't it? The trade routes are open once more now that the danger is past, certainly. But no small number of merchants have had to sell their ships to make ends meet in the short term. Add to that the sailors we lost in the final days, and it's little wonder the flow of exports is no more than a pitiful trickle. If Kozol and his consortium were still with us, I'm sure he'd have found a way to turn our fortunes around. Now that was a man who got things done. God rest his soul. Spoken with the key local figures and gain understanding of the populace's hardships. Varshahn awaits your report at Megaduda. I swear, if I just cut the video... I'm pretty sure there's more. I'm pretty sure this is not like, oh, you just cut the video. Congratulations, you're done with this patch. Anyways, I got other things I can do, but I'm pretty sure I have more. That's just my ramblings, you know? Also, yes, I still load so fast. Ah, my advisor's return. I've just made it back myself. Why do you retain the vessel now that your true form is known? You could have flown across the island in a fraction of the time. Be that as it may, the sight of a massive creature descending from the sky can be startling, to say the least. And there are a few places I can enter comfortably without risk of flattening some cart or stall. Fair enough. As for my inquiries, the people of Pakistan were unanimous in their reply. They are surviving. Resources were stretched to the limit when refugees were pouring in, but they persevered with the assistance from Yabamad. From what I understand, they have always been an independent community, hunters and foragers and the like. I was assured that the jungle provides for their needs, for the most part. Pakistan has weathered the disaster better than most, it seems. I myself heard good news and bad. The quarrymen were cautiously optimistic, having just sold a full wagon of giant's gall to a foreign trader. But such visitors are few and far between. Compared to our best years, the weight of stone leaving Fafnir has been light indeed. Our nation is small and isolated, its prosperity dependent on a steady stream of exports. We must identify any obstacles to the flow of trade, so we may begin working to remove them. Tell me, what did you learn in Akiali and Yabamad? Okay, no, we still have more to go. We're good. I didn't split it bad. We're good. I see. Without a dedicated buyer, the average fisherman must struggle to offload his daily catch. Which is why I believe we should first address the lack of ships and shortage of able-bodied sailors in Yabamad. I'm reminded of a child I spied as I made my way back to the palace. His father lost at sea when the beast sunk their vessel. So many variations of the same tragic tale, repeated over and over. So many lives lost. Enough grief to drown it if we allow ourselves to be overcome, but we will not. Arya, Estinian, I will consider the perspectives you have brought me and devise a plan to help my people confront this adversity. Come, I would like you to be in attendance when I announce our proposal to my assembled functionaries.
I thank you for your attendance. The riches the Radiant Host have retrieved were hoarded in Alzadaal's name. A fortune I set aside for a future day of need. And lo, that day hath come. May it aid our wounded city in reclaiming its vibrancy and vigor. In better times, I would leave such a task to our capable Ahawan. God's rest his soul. Finding myself bereft of his counsel in the here and now, I will assume the responsibilities of mine office directly. Firstly, the treasure shall be sold for more convenient currency. Thence, invested into the trading port of Yedlamad. Our merchants must have their operations restored, their ships rebuilt. Commerce must flow once more. None were spared the tragedy of the final days. Of this, I am well aware. But an absence was created by the loss of Alzadaal's consortium. And by filling it, we provide new means for our fishermen, our artisans, and others to bring their wares to distant markets.
And what of the children who were left without family to care for them?
That is a concern which weigheth heavily upon my mind. A simple gift of coin will soon be exhausted. leaving these young souls adrift on the fringes of our society. Nay, a proper solution is needed, one which doth guarantee their welfare for years to come. Thou hast surely seen how other nations rise to meet this challenge, adventurer. What dost thou deem the wisest course?
Taxes, levy them on trade profits in exchange for your investment.
I see. We create a reliable source of revenue. Let us put this idea into practice. A contract shall be written, requiring all who receive of Alzadaal's treasure to commit a portion of their future earnings towards the running of an orphanage. Now, such an influential policy is deserving of a worthy name.
Why not honor one of your most successful merchants?
A successful merchant? I believe I see thy reasoning. Alzadaal should be remembered, not as the blasphemy which terrorized Thavne, but as a hard-working and generous man who brought much wealth to our shores. Do any among you object to this proposition? Many here lost loved ones to the beasts.
In that time of strife, any one of us could have broken. Any one of us may have been taken by despair. When I think of Alzadaal, I feel no hatred. Only a stinging regret that we could not save him as well. Isn't that right, men?
This bodes well for that boy. Murad, was it? Perhaps he can cut ties with that shady peddler.
Then let it be done. Henceforth, this initiative shall be known as the Alzadaal Foundation. Nabdeen, thou art to assemble a patrol and ensure that no child in this city liveth in squalor. Clerks, see to the management of our funds and make haste. Our citizens must not suffer a day more than is necessary.
Dragon and man, side by side in pursuit of a brighter morrow. I'm reminded of Ishgard.
Oh, make me choose a thing. My foot's fallen asleep during that cutscene. Bridging the rift. you for putting forth Kalzal's name. Those whose lives he enriched will take comfort in seeing his legacy honored. You will forgive me for not speaking sooner, but I bear a message from Archon Ishtola. She asked you to meet her at the High Crucible at your earliest convenience. Understood. Thank you. Ishtola must have finished her study at the Void Gate. Shall we hear what she has to say then? I will go with you. I thought the Sawtrap would be too busy setting up the foundation. My clerks have been no well-oiled cogs of this administration since before Ahewang assumed the office. They understand what needs to be done. I'm curious to learn what conclusions your Archon has reached concerning the gate's unique construction. As you wish, allow me to lead the way, Your Excellency. I might be a minute. My foot's asleep here. Oh gosh. I think it's technically, it's equal, roughly, I want to say. Oh my god, my leg is now just going, really mad how I was sitting. I think that's what's going on here.
Right, here we all are.
You discovered something new.
I took a closer look at that device. I was able to determine how it keeps the Void Gate sealed, but not how it might instead be employed to expand the opening. For that, I would need to reference the technique developed by Vrtra's alchemists, no records of which appear to have survived the intervening years.
We know this, so why have you sent for us? Have you learned aught of value or not?
Patience, good sir. One must introduce the subject before launching into specifics. From what we understand, travel between worlds is accomplished by passing through the nebulous rift which exists between them. Picture, if you will, the moment you were called to the first.
Do I have to?
You touched a focus of some kind to help the Exarch pinpoint your location. His summoning spell then channeled the energies of the Crystal Tower to begin your journey to his world. The magics tore a hole in the wall separating source and shard, and cast you into the intervening nothingness. In that place, the laws of nature hold no sway. Yet even through this realm of temporal and spatial instability, you were borne safely to your destination in the first. The feat that guided you across such an unimaginable distance, both physical and metaphorical, was nothing short of a miracle.
Then what of the many
Excuse me, game? Excuse me, game. Do you mind? I think the server crashed in the middle of that cutscene. Yep, server crashed. Or something.
Then what of the many voids sent found in the source? Who guides them here, and how?
An excellent question. Though there are several methods by which the Void's denizens might intrude upon our world, the rituals of summoning are the most typical. For example, let us consider the Gargoyle, a creature of middling power. To call upon such an entity, the prospective summoner must force open a void gate. The portal lasts but a moment and is relatively small, allowing only an imp or other lesser being to squeeze through with their physical body intact. Our more powerful gargoyle, however, is too large for that. Creating a gate big enough for him would require vast amounts of energy, far beyond the reserves of any one mortal practitioner. Instead, 'tis far more common to bring over only the entity's soul. We had a taste of that ourselves when a certain exarch dragged us to the First. And just as our bodies remained in our world, the Void Sense physical form is left behind in the 13th. Once at its destination, the summoned soul is granted a temporary shell to inhabit. In the gargoyle's case, a stone effigy has proven a suitable vessel.
Wait. You said that Voidsent must be called here deliberately by someone in the source, reeled in like a fisherman with his catch.
Exactly. For a being to navigate the chaos of the rift, with or without form, there must needs be a guiding agent on the other side.
When the hordes poured forth from Alag's Great Gate, it was the technologists who drew them through. Though to my knowledge, planar fissures are in essence natural passages between our world and the void, which require no such guidance to traverse. Why is only the boundary between the source and the 13th so fragile? So much so that it often tears open of its own accord.
I believe solving that mystery is key to understanding travel between the source and its reflections.
And how do you intend to get your answers?
No, the danger is too great.
Perhaps, but what some call danger, others think of as adventure.
Were you not listening to my tale? Never mind that the means to expand the gate has been lost to the ages. Even could you force the portal wide enough, you would be greeted by an army of murderous horrors the very instant you step through.
I assure you I was most attentive, and I agree that to go alone would be certain death. But if I were to bring along one who has already braved the 13th and humbled the cloud of darkness, well, I imagine my chances would be much improved.
Well, so much for taking it easy.
Since when were you one for the quiet life? Once again, I put my life in your ever-reliable hands. That said, as much as I would like to march straight back to the Void Gate, there is the small matter of being unable to open it without the Satrap's personal authority.
As I've said before, I will grant you and yours any boon you choose to name, provided it does not endanger my people.
You have my word that we will take every precaution. Not a single Void Scent will be allowed to threaten Varshahn, assuming we manage to expand the portal in the first place.
You have a plan?
Actually, I had hoped you might help us with that. I presume the alchemists you retained supplied you with some explanation of their methodology.
That they did. House Daimir was overseeing the project.
Daimir. Ah, yes. The family associated with the great work.
I did not fully comprehend the theory, but their research began with a void scent which had slipped through the fissure. After a thorough examination, they created an arcane simulacrum possessed of similar qualities. A man-made void scent, if you will. It was apparently indispensable in their efforts to enlarge the gate.
A man-made void scent?
Yes. Being great admirers of the Archons, House Daimir submitted detailed notes to Charlene's official committee. They expected praise and accolades for their simulacrum, and were thus devastated to be informed that their work had been classified as prohibited material.
If that's true, then those notes might still be stored in a forbidden archive somewhere. Not Google, of course, since that library had yet to be built. Which leaves us with...
with Graha's favorite place to sneak around.
Indeed. Numenon's restricted stacks may very well hold a copy. In which case, I say we head directly to Charlene.
Unless you anticipate needing help to reach the high shelves, I see myself being of little use. Go on ahead. I still need to find Mirad and tell him about the Alzadaal Foundation.
Let us be on our way as well.
They are resolved to venture into the void. Do I sit idly by?
Charlene. I was like, where is it? We're fine. Charlene. It's so empty. It's like the server crashed. If we're to enter Numenon's restricted archives with a minimum of fuss, we must secure the permission of the forum. First, however, we should need to enlist the cooperation of a member to broach the matter on their behalf. Who do you think might be inclined to assist us? No one springs to mind? Well, a scholar from Varshahn. He did come to Graha's defense during the inquiry, after all. To settle, let us handle the phenomenon and see if he's willing to help us once more. Chol is now accompanying you, blah 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 blah. Okay, I could literally just warp there. This being a patch, they fixed it so you could just warp to places. You didn't have to walk everywhere. I apprenticed to Master Toy at the age of 7. I labored under her tutelage for a full decade. I never had a chance to attend the studium. Nor did Dankert as I recall. Soon after Master Louisoix took him in off the streets, he was put in the care of another Archon. His was a rigorous and practical education in the arts of espionage and survival. Sometimes wonder what my life might have been like had I pursued studies here instead. Tea at the last stand after a day of lectures? Oh, that does sound lovely. Afternoon with friends, spent sipping tea and debating theories. Still, I wouldn't give up my time with Master Matoya for the world. The dank cave I was studying was about as far from the bright, airy halls of academia as one could get. That was a wondrous, magical childhood nonetheless. Can I do the other option? I can. Should I wonder as well? Oh, never mind. It was just an idle thought. Wow. That's clearly not the option you're supposed to choose. She's just like, no. Completely blowing it off. Oh no. I am starting to yawn. That is not good. Why are you in this room? No. Hi. Are you voiced? Probably not. You are not. Ah, visitors, and quite esteemed ones at that. What may I do for you? Pray forgive the intrusion, Scholar, but we are hoping you might help us secure permission to enter Numenon's restricted archives? Oh, no further parades in the stacks this time, eh? I applaud this newfound sense of propriety, yet in all this wide world of comparative serenity, what so compels you to disturb a vault for forbidden wisdom? My love for reading books. Yeah. Fascinating. I had no idea such a technique existed. I would have been surprised if you had. If my assumption is correct, the research left behind by House Daimir has lain dormant in Charlene's archive for many centuries. And if you unearth this research, what then? Surely you don't intend to cross over into the void. That is, in fact, precisely what we intend. To what end, pray tell? To develop a method for traversing the rift, for one, that I might keep my word to a distant friend. To develop a... since I'm aside, I have journeyed to the end of existence. I've heard, felt, and thought endlessly about the truth of our world and the echo of its future. You want to understand everything, to unravel it all down to its very last secret. What scholar worthy of the name wouldn't force open the void gate or two if a grand revelation was the promised reward? Marvelous. Audacious proposal worthy of Master Matoya herself. After hearing the whys and the wherefores, I, for one, do not believe you would use the knowledge for ill. I see no reason not to present your request to the forum's consideration. Although your petition would be better received, you also had the support of another well-placed acquaintance. Why, Master Varshahn, of course. He can hardly ignore an earnest request from his dear children's most treasured comrades. I was hesitant to approach him directly, but there is no denying that having Master Varshahn on our side would tip the balance in our favor. Very well, we will pay a visit to the Levier estate and plead our case. Oh, one last thing before you go. I'll consider it a personal favor if you might share with me the discoveries you make in the void. My appetite for knowledge is every bit as insatiable as yours, I'd wager. So if you could see your way to indulging an old man's curiosity... Of course, Scholar, we'll be sure to pass on any revelations. Alright. I can clearly run. Ah, Mistress Arya and Mistress Ishtola, how may I be of service? We've come to speak with Master Varshahn. Is he home by any chance? Yes, the Master is in residence. I shall inform him that he has guests. Well, Emilians would invite you inside for tea, but I assume this is not a social visit. You have some matter of import to discuss? Then pray proceed, and you have my full attention. Well, I suppose I should praise you for following the proper protocols this time around. Scholar Monteshane expressed much the same sentiment. I assure you will not attempt to circumvent the form's authority again, unless it is absolutely necessary, of course. Of course. You do understand that the restricted archives are restricted for a good reason, yes. If no pressing need exists, then why risk the consequences of employing this forbidden knowledge? For a brother who missed his sister, she was his guardian and his friend, a selfless hero who crossed the rift between worlds to save her homeland from horror and suffering. But the brother has given up on thoughts of reunion. He spent his efforts elsewhere, watching over a people yet healing from the flames of the final days, loyal to his duty while betraying the longing in his heart. 'Tis no vital mission, perhaps, but reuniting these siblings that feels a worthy cause to pursue, all the same. I can read. As one who feared losing his own loved ones and spent years in research to prevent it, surely you appreciate how painful such a separation must be. Reflections are still very much a mystery to us. Offering to share your experience in the first should constitute a fair exchange for our cooperation. Do not celebrate just yet. The forum must still be convinced. I will add your request to the list of today's deliberations and deliver the decision to you at the Baldessian Annex. Oh, for Fruit Loop's sake. Oh, for the love of fruit, because I disconnected right at the end of the cutscene. Ishtola is no longer accompanying me, so I have to go get her, redo the cutscene, which I can at least skip this time, because I was literally at the end. You saw me fading out of the cutscene. And yet I'm gonna feel bad if I skip it, because I'm like, what if there was another line? Yeah, I had plenty of reading to keep me busy while you were disconnected. Okay, I'm just trying to do this. Also, I literally really need to do that. Let's just try and do this. I'm not gonna skip it. We're gonna go through just to be sure. I'm gonna skip all the lines until we catch up, but pretty sure literally fading out of the cutscene. I'm sorry, we're hitting my bedtime. I'm also trying to be staying up for an event because, yeah, to give you. Last part I gave you an idea of where I was in terms of recording, so here's another idea. The Halloween event for 2022 starts in about 15 minutes. I'm trying to stay up for it because I'm too busy otherwise. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. And deliver the decision to you at Valdesian Annex. Literally. Right there. Oh, hi. It's where I'm supposed to go. I was mumbling, complaining about what just happened. It's supposed to be voice now, right? No. Not. So, what did the form decide? Put it bluntly, Master Matoya has burned some bridges here in Charlian, and salted the earth for good measure. When it became clear that her student was a petitioner in question, well, no few members voiced their discontent. Then the chamber was reminded, in no uncertain terms I might add, of the incredible debt we owe to you and your companions. That served to silence the grumbles and stiffen a few spines. And it was agreed that allowing your entry to the archives was the least we could do in return. That is wonderful news. Thank you both for speaking on our behalf. Yes, well, as I'm sure you are aware, this permission was not extended lightly. Forbidden knowledge is to be treated with the utmost caution, and there will be repercussions if it is not. I wish you well in your endeavor, and bid you good day. Ever the same, that one. Uncompromising, aye, but that's very stoicism is exactly what Charlene needed to guide it through not one, but two exoduses. I blame the disconnects for me now being insanely tired. That went rather well, I think. As a child, I had dreamed up any number of schemes for getting my hands on those forbidden tomes, and now I can simply walk in through the door. Our focus will be finding on finding how Steamer's research notes, of course, but the thought of so much knowledge at my disposal has me feeling a little giddy. Keep going. Let's get like 20 minutes of disconnects in here. We're doing it. Restricted reading. You'll be heading directly to the archives from here, I presume? You presume correctly. You want to speak with the index page when you arrive. It's been instructed to grant you access to the restricted section. Excellent. Once again, we thank you for all of your help. Oh, it was my pleasure. Believe me. May you find the knowledge you seek. Shall we? So is now accompany you. Blah, 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 blah. Yes, that is the first thing we see. We need eventually. I'm not walking this. I already know. This is faster. Do not attempt it, Ernie. Just do this. Just go. Pudding way! I guess my pudding wasn't needed to stop the final days after all, but I persevere. Once people taste it, they'll be even happier than they were before the apocalypse started. I just know it. Aww. The set of instructions I laughingly imagine may actually exist, but yawns away from where you found me napping. If I'd known Alzadaal III's exploit sooner, I could well have saved myself days of research. Even the children's book might have pointed me in the right direction. To achieve the impossible, one must needs be flexible of mind and look beyond conventional wisdom. A lesson I've already learned, but clearly not taken to heart. Ishtola and guest identified. Do you wish to proceed into the restricted archives? Follow me if you would. Watch your step and please note that the use of naked flames is discouraged. Yeah, going all in. Dungeon entrance psych and everything. I even get Google's music.
If House Damia's notes are to be found anywhere, it will be here. Let us begin.
And before that's the only line. Alright, are you ready? So if I remember right, it's up there. So... there's literally only 3 to examine? I'm disappointed, game. So many books I've yet to read. Yes, we're here for one specific volume. You needn't remind me. Yes, we were examining all of them, because that's what we do. Today, in the world not my own, I met the most beautiful void-born creature. She was so unlike her ravenous brethren, eyes blazing not with hunger, but trembling like a candle's flame, threatening to flicker out at any moment. I wonder if she is even the proper word. Such distinctions seem inconsequential. Insignificant, even. All that matters is the love I feel for this exquisite, transcendent being. Are you tempted to read more? This does not seem to be the volume you are seeking. In the year 1564 of the 6th actual era, the Alzadaal summoned Ifrit, their patron god. Accounts describe the being as a gigantic, lizard-like being with a potent command of fire-aspected magics. If we consider the primal summoning is an act fueled by faith and prayer, it is unsurprising, if not expected, that the resulting deiform entity should manifest the appearance of powers with which it is attributed by its worshippers. What then might emerge from the ether should one who believes in an almighty omniscient attempt the same ritual? Would the scholar himself grace us with his presence, some other embodiment of divine sagacity? Would this man-made god truly be all-knowing? And if it were, whence would such knowledge arise? I myself have many questions concerning the nature of the ancient world, but that no spell to transform me back to the days of old. Can I instead summon a being possessed of encyclopedic wisdom of every age? Yet with no means to verify his pronouncements, how could one be certain they were true? The year of mind spins with possibilities discussed therein. This does not seem to be the volume you are seeking. The following pages detail a vast method for manipulating rift-spanning apertures as devised by Varshahn, the 9th patriarch of House Daimir. We present these research notes to the faculty of Charlene's Studium as both a token of our friendship and an expression of our boundless admiration. Here I've located Forbidden Tome you seek, so we'll need to make a final confirmation. So yeah, you actually have to read all those books before you find it, because you can't stop them after. Something you'd like to show me? My apologies, I flipped open but a single book and was completely absorbed by its contents. Well done, Arya. I think you may have found our prize.
Yes, the ether signature is unmistakable. I've felt the traces of House Damia's resonance many times at the Great Work. Time to see what all the fuss was about. Among the ranks of the Void Sent, there exist entities with the power to call forth their brethren from beyond. The species known as Atomos, however, is uniquely prodigious in this regard. From its distended maw, it can expel an endless procession of void-born creatures. a talent which sorely tested the Radiant host in its battles against these abominations. Surmising that the entity itself was acting as a void gate, we endeavored to capture a small specimen and subsequently examine its physiological structure. Our findings revealed that the Atomos had absorbed a planar fissure into its own flesh, which it could expand at will into a functioning gate. Upon further analysis, we identified an ethereal wave pattern emitted during this process. A pattern we were able to emulate by passing crystal-stored ether through a specially designed prism. We proceeded to embed said prism into an arcane simulacrum, thus completing what we have dubbed our artificial Atomos. How could I have been so blind to the possibilities? This species, not to mention its ability to summon void scent, has been discussed among academics for years now. Just before the advent of the 7th Umbral Calamity, we received reports of Atomos sightings from every corner of Eorzea. Surely you've at least heard the tales. And still, House Daemir went and built a mock Atomos of their very own. I'm not surprised the Archons consigned their work to a restricted archive. It was no easy task, but at last we've unearthed the volume we've been searching for. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't tempted to stay longer. See what other forbidden titles might be lurking on these shelves. Ah, but that would be abusing the very special privilege we've been granted now, wouldn't it? Better not.
As much as I would love to start crafting Atomos, I'm afraid this is far outside my field of expertise. Fortunately, we know a Houndish alchemist who would be delighted to involve herself in our House Daemir project. Our business here is concluded for the moment. Please pass on our regards to the forum. Your message will be conveyed. Should you wish to indulge in more forbidden literature, I will be here. Patron mode disabled, security mode engaged. If anyone can help us, it's Nadana can. I say we return to Fafnir and look for her at the Great Work. I'm locating the object of your search. Please move along. You kick me out, why don't you? I think before we go speak with Nadana, though, I'm not going to attempt these disconnects any further, so we're going to call it good for now. And next time we'll go speak with Nadana. So, thank you for watching. Enjoyed the video, consider liking, commenting, and or subscribing if you really enjoyed it. Consider supporting the channel. All support really helps you keep being content like this and more. My links back in the description along with links to me on social media. So thank you again for watching, and until next time, this is rinimt signing out. Bye!